Welcome to Stopping Goliath. My name is John J Kimmel. Before we even get started, if this article is helpful for you, if you think it's good information, please like it, please share it. Share it on your social media, share it on your text, send it to your friends. Please subscribe and hit that notification bell so you'll know when we come out with new articles. I'm actually going to summarize 3 quick articles I found this week. You'll find the link for each of them in the description. And they're all on a similar topic, so I think you'll see how they tie together. The first one comes from Montclair State University. It's actually an inter-university news piece, and it is really building up these 2 fantastic professors they have, Lisa Lieberman and Eva Goldfarb. They are very excited about the findings they have found about sex education. And this new study shows comprehensive sex education can prevent child abuse and intimate partner violence, increase appreciation for sexual diversity. Oh, there's a little asterisk to put on the list, and improve environments for LGBTQ students, among other benefits. And here's the important part of the study. This is what they really came to the conclusion of, that the way we achieve these great results is we start sex education, comprehensive sex education, in kindergarten. That's when we need to start teaching our kids about sex, because that will improve their physical, mental, and emotional well-being, according to the study. So I'm guessing you probably have a problem with that. Well, guess what? You're going to have a big problem with this. Now, I know, certainly as I talk through these articles, we're going to generally find that depending on where you live in the country, some of these things may be true for you and some may be coming. In other words, if you live in Oregon, Washington, California, New York, Colorado, these things are already with you. If you live in Texas or Florida, they're with some of us and they're coming for the rest. This one actually comes out of Canada, so just north of the border, and if there's any place that's more liberal than, say, California, it would be Canada. But here, a school in Canada has assigned a homework assignment for kindergartners. And this is a homework assignment where they're to go home and learn how and where to touch their private parts. They are actually given a homework assignment to masturbate. And not only are they to draw a picture of their own private places, and I'm not even going to read the words they use to describe them, but they also want these children to find a private place where they can do the touching without their parents finding them. Students receive this assignment as part of the educational program on physical health and body safety adapted from, and before you think this is just a rogue teacher, no, this is not a rogue teacher. This is part of a curriculum called Body Smart Right from the Start, a sex education program workbook described as appropriate for children ages 3 to 7. All right, is your blood boiling yet? Well, get ready. It's going to get worse. Bellingham, Washington. As I just mentioned, Washington is certainly a state that falls far to the left in terms of things like LGBTQ and other things like that. But it holds a special place in my heart. You see, most of you know I'm a Texan, but I'm originally from the state of Washington. And so this Bellingham school board I'm about to talk about isn't that far from where I was born. So I can definitely relate to this story. There is a woman who is a member of the Bellingham School Board, and she also is the owner of a sex shop in downtown Bellingham. Now, she has created something called the Uncringe Academy. And this is a workshop that is designed to help younger people, all right? And it's going to take place at the Wink Wink Boutique. That's what she calls her sex shop. And it's a workshop that's going to cover a variety of topics, including gender and sexual identity and sexual anatomy for pleasure. Among other things, safer sex practices for all kinds of sexual activities, including solo and partnered sexual activities. Let me say that again, solo and partnered sexual activities. Her youngest age group that you can join is 9 years old. She's going to have 9-year-old children take place in partnered sexual activities. Why is this woman not in prison? I looked and looked for a follow-up. This story came out a while ago. I didn't find that she got arrested. In fact, I couldn't even find that the authorities stepped in and stopped any of this. As far as I know, that actually happened. 9-year-olds were subjected to that unbelievably devastating kind of situation. It's absolutely abhorrent. And by the way, if you know something I don't know, if you have heard, hey, yeah, she did get arrested, or no, the authorities stepped in, or something, good or bad, please comment. Let me know. I'd love to hear about it. You know, sexual education when I was a kid was radically different than it is today. I still remember the day, and sex ed, by the way, was a day. It was only a couple hours of a day. I still remember, because it was unusual, there were 2 6th grade classes in the elementary school I was in, and I wasn't in Mr. Smith's class. And I still remember the day that our class had to get up and go to his class. We had to go to Mr. Smith's class and do sex ed. And you know what I remember? I remember anatomical drawings, not photographs. I remember drawings of the female and male reproductive systems. And quite frankly, I remember, making silly jokes with my friends, because the truth is we hadn't yet entered puberty and we weren't sexual beings yet. We were still young enough that it was funny. It wasn't really sexual to us. And it was a couple hours on one day of our entire educational career. But that's not the case anymore. And by the way, if you're wondering, every state has sex education starting in elementary school. Many states, including probably your state, in as early as kindergarten, not all of them, but many of them. And see, here's the thing. It's not just a single, hour or two once and then never spoken about again. You see, sex education goes on and on. In fact, most of our kids are exposed to it each year until they graduate high school. And at the same time, there is a second piece of curriculum. And this second piece of curriculum is the LGBTQ plus and gender transition fluidity curriculum that in most places starts the same time as sex ed. So in as early as kindergarten, they start talking about the other sexual preferences of different people and their sexual perversions and all kinds of things that children should not be exposed to. And they do that not just once, but they do it every day. It's part of their all the time curriculum. You see, you as a parent or grandparent, you assume that you can have the birds and bees conversation with your kids, and what you're competing with is a 2-hour class that happens once during their education. That's simply not the case. They're being indoctrinated every day. So unless you happen to be a parent who's countering what they're hearing every day, like so many of us, you're probably fighting a losing battle. And for those of us who are old enough to have kids who are long since out of their education and are in their lives now getting married and having kids, it's too late for us. We can't go back and turn back the clock. But if you still have children in school, you can do something about it. And for those of us who have grandkids, we can do something about it. You see, the truth is that what they're teaching our kids and our grandkids is that sex is normal outside of marriage. And that sex is normal at any age. And that sex is normal with anyone, regardless of their gender. Maybe this is why our adolescents Our adolescent daughters and granddaughters have accounted for 7.5 million abortions since Roe v. Wade was made legal. So here's the long and the short. Our kids are being shown and taught what we would call pornography. Just go into your elementary school child's library and you'll find it. So what are we going to do? What can we do? First of all, we need to be in prayer. We need to be in prayer for our kids and our grandkids, that God would protect their eyes, their ears, their minds from the filth that they're being exposed to. We need to be praying for the educators who are pushing it on our kids. You see, they are deceived. The devil comes to steal, kill, and destroy, and he has done a phenomenal job of deceiving millions of educators that this is right to do. And we need to share the truth. We need to be sharing on our social media with our friends. We need to be telling others what's actually happening in the schools. Because I promise, you didn't see these stories on CNN and you didn't see these stories on NBC. You probably didn't know about them at all. But they're real and they're true and they're documented. And all you need to do is go click on those links and you can check for yourself. So here's what I'm asking you to do. If this rings true for you, that you want to protect your kids and your grandkids, share this video. Take it and text it to your friends. Share it on your social media. Like it. Subscribe to our channel. Hit that notification bell so when new content comes out, when we drop a new video, you'll be the first to be able to listen and share it with your friends. Let's all work hard to protect our children and our grandchildren. They'll be glad that we did.